We're live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar brought to you by myself, Louise, and my honorary co-host.
I'm Dan. Nice to see you, everyone. Yeah, did you just forget my name, Louise?
No, I was waiting for yeah, we're delighted to welcome you. I'm quite pleased to tell you that we've had over 600 people that have signed up to attend this webinar. We've got people from Canada, Lebanon, Italy, California, Dubai, all over. It's just amazing. You can see the chat going through there. And this is your time, and we want you to get the most out of this webinar. And please do leave your comments, your questions in the chat, and we'll get the discussion going as well. But also on this webinar, which is a bit of a kind of surprise guest and the most important person on this webinar today, and that is Camilla. And Camilla is a student at the Basingstoke College of Technology, BCOT, as we know it and love it, and also Scott, who's a teacher and digital leader at BCOT, is going to be joining us to tell us how they as an organization have started to embrace AI in learning and teaching. And Camilla is going to show you an example of an immersive learning experience that is absolutely going to blow your socks off. So I'm delighted to be introducing them to you a bit later on our show. It does feel like a show. And not only have we got the most wonderful people, Dan, the AI man, is with us, we're also going to be giving away a copy of Dan's best-selling book. Dan, tell us about the book.
Yeah. No one's ever called me that before, so I don't know whether to feel flattered or embarrassed. But thank you. This is the ultimate guide to artificial intelligence in education. And if you've never heard of it, where have you been? It's if you haven't heard of it, that's fine. But now you have. It is the ultimate guide, really, for right now, not forever, because as we know, this technology is going to progress so much. But I really want one of you to have a copy of this, because we put so much effort into it when we realized earlier this year that, or the late last year, that ChatGPT and generative AI were really going to transform education. There was a lot of teachers who were saying, well, where do we start? Where do we go from here? How do we don't even know what we're doing. So myself and Amanda and Brad, who each wrote a chapter, we got together and we decided to put this resource together. It's nearly 400 pages long. There's a lot in there. It goes through the history of where this technology came from in a quite an accessible way, I think. Into what does a teacher using AI look like, and what are they doing? What's the frameworks to get started? How to chat with AI, how to get the best out of it, examples, tools. There's a chapter in there on emotional intelligence and how emotional intelligence is going to be vital when becoming an AI educator, on how to use it with students. And there's a chapter in there on leadership as well, how to be a leader who is leading the way with AI integration. So I still can't believe we wrote it, to be honest.
I know, it came out really quickly as well, the concept, and you did ask educators for contributions to it as well through the Facebook. Yeah. So there's a Facebook group, isn't there, which is called the AI.
There is the AI classroom. So if you're on Facebook, all you have to do is search it as a group. I think there's nearly 14,000 teachers in there. Teachers from literally every corner of the globe. That doesn't make sense, but yeah, every part of the world, who are sharing ideas, concerns, because obviously a lot of teachers have got concerns around this, sharing resources. It's a lovely community to be in, really. So if you want to know more, come and join us.
Brilliant. And Susan, if the link's not working, scan the QR code on the screen, and I'll make sure that I get the link again to put in. And it takes you to a Google form, and you only need to put in a nickname if you don't want to put your real name in, because of GDPR, if people don't want to know that they're watching. But we thought it'd be good to do a giveaway with people that are actually watching the webinar, and increase your chances of winning, rather than do for all the 600 people that have requested to sign up to the webinar. So you will get, All right, well, get the QR code and make sure that works. There's something that's funny about that QR.
I'm going to try the QR code.
Yeah, and I think you've got access to the form, Dan. So yeah, and I think
QR code works well.
QR work. I did test it. So anyway, at the end, I'm delighted to say that Kyla, who I'm just going to introduce to you all quickly, you've probably heard about Kyla. She writes the best case studies and is a member of our team creating ThingLinks as well. Kyla, you are going to be monitoring the entrance to our best-selling book giveaway. And then at the end, Dan, did you say that ChatGPT is going to choose our winner?
Yeah, let's ask ChatGPT to. Yeah, because everybody knows it's not biased. So no, I'm joking.
Right, we'll do that.
And I've just added a new link in there, so if everyone could try that now.
Excellent. We'll make sure.
And
Kyla's going to be posting lots of links in the chat for you as well. So if you're wondering who is ThingLink in the YouTube stream, it's Kyla, and she's on hand to answer any of your questions. Kyla, you do a mean Marge Simpson impression as well, don't you?
Oh, we've got to say this. Come on.
Oh, maybe.
Oh my goodness. No, it was good. That was good.
Really good. Anyway, right.
Now, Kyla.
Let's move on because I want to save lots of time for Camilla and Scott to be joining us as well. Kyla, we'll see you in a short while. Okay, Marge.
I can't believe you did that to her there. You are cruel, Liz.
No, because she did it to me by surprise once. I was driving once and I struggled to keep my hands on the steering wheel. It made me laugh so much. So, a lot of you who are joining us know and love ThingLink, but there are a few of you who are joining us today that maybe don't know what ThingLink is. ThingLink, as you can see from the lovely symbols at the bottom, is an award-winning at BET this year. And Dan, you were a winner at BET this year as well.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, were you not? I thought you won a BET this year as well.
I was there. I was at the awards when ThingLink won. I was cheering them on. But
oh, right. I thought, oh, right. That's
reminding me that I didn't win. I wasn't even nominated for any awards, but still.
Maybe next year. Let's keep our fingers crossed. So yeah, ThingLink won an award, which was the best digital learning product for higher education at BET this year and Dubai last year. So it really has been a phenomenal year for the ThingLink team. But ThingLink actually is 12 years old now, and ThingLink was the brainchild of Ulla Maria Koivula. And Ulla was studying for her PhD in education at the University of Helsinki. And she was fascinated with Vygotsky's theory, how we learn by interacting with our environments. And of course, that was to do with physical environments. And Ulla was fascinated with how this concept could be applied to the virtual world as well. And that's where ThingLink was born. It was out of this way we can really create virtual environments where we can interact. And that's how ThingLink was born. So it was really ahead of its time, and it's really stood the test of time. It's a very mature product now. But also when we think about how it's being used in the landscape of AI, you know, you can mix and match and take your images, your videos, your 3D models, 360 videos, whether they're created with AI or true to life 360 videos, the same with 360 images, as you'll see a bit further on in the webinar. But the idea is that you can take that base media and then you can add hotspots, and the hotspots can make it accessible in multimodal ways with audio, with video embedded, with so many different types of text and text that can be translated as well. And of course, you can add in other third-party tools as well. So ThingLink is a patented technology in order to do that. On the slides, which you'll get a copy of, we've got an email ready to go out to everybody that signed up for this webinar. And what I've done is I've put these little kind of link buttons on the slides as well, because sometimes I put links in pictures and maybe people think that the links aren't there. So you'll be able to click on that link and go to ThingLink, and you'll be able to sign up for a free trial if you don't have a ThingLink account already.
Louise, can I just say, when I work full-time in AI now, but my old job, when I was working in ed tech for a group of colleges, ThingLink was so helpful for us. So we invested heavily in virtual reality. Our students played around with ThingLink, making 3D environments. Our teachers did. We were even using ThingLink for when you enter the campus, we had these big flat screen interactive panels, and we used ThingLink to do virtual tours of the space, so students knew where to go for certain things. Just an absolutely invaluable tool. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Thanks, Dan. And you invited us onto an early EduFuturist podcast. Ula and I came on there. And it was, again, this kind of conversational, where you really give people the freedom to talk about how ThingLink, was born. And Ula was very able to talk about that passionately, which was a real pleasure. So ThingLink, as you've known and love it, many of you who are watching, was the kind of OG. It was our ThingLink original editor. But since then, you've probably seen a shift where we've been able to build a kind of suite of tools with ideas that have come from our communities of creators. So people said, I really love ThingLink. I really like creating my ThingLinks, but wouldn't it be great if you could put them into branching scenarios, like a pick your pathway story? So now we have a scenario builder. We also have guided tours, because people liked virtual tours that were free form, where you could click and explore. But people said some of their viewers wanted a more sequential way to move through the scenes, and we've done that. You've now got guided tours. And I'm just about to give you a little demo. I have an iPhone here, which has got the new ThingLink AR app on it. What you'll be able to do is to take a picture of something, maybe a poster on a wall, or something that's like an everyday object. You'll be able to upload that into your ThingLink account, add your tags, and then in the kind of real world space, if you can see, I can go up to this poster that I've got on my wall, and on this poster I've put some hotspots in my ThingLink account, and those hotspots just pop up on your phone. So imagine if you had health and safety posters on the walls of your organization, or museums could use it, where you could just hover with your phone over the objects and then see those tags pop up. So yeah, lots of good things coming out with ThingLink. We've also got a Unity plugin. That's where people are using the Unity games engine to create digital twins or games experiences, and ThingLink can take a picture, 360 shot inside of it. So yes, that's where we are with ThingLink. Lots of exciting tools. But Dan, we all remember when certain things happen in everyday life, but you, it's fair to say, took the ball and ran with it. And Scott, in our kind of pre-meeting before the webinar, said that you became the North Star of the AI world for all of the kind of educators in the UK. And, this is absolutely true. Your knowledge now is surpassing, you really have kind of led the way with it, not just with the book, by the interviews you've done. So yeah, tell us about, what was that pivotal moment that drove you to start really becoming a leading light in AI?
Yeah, well, thanks very much, and thanks to Scott, who I know is in the green room in the background. It's very kind, but I think so late November, ChatGPT comes out. Not many people had really played with it in terms of education those first few days, but I remember hearing about it and having a go of it, and then I noticed a few tweets on Twitter where it was quite negative, to be honest. It was quite fearful of the technology, and because of the work that I've done in the past, I knew the potential of this technology and what it could do. So I essentially started tweeting about it, really, and putting on LinkedIn ways that teachers could lean into this technology and really get benefits from it, and put things out there, and let teachers have a go of it themselves. And I couldn't have imagined really that how far some of the resources and some of the posts would travel and have gone around the world. And it's really given me opportunities to dedicate a lot of time to building up my own knowledge and then creating resources for teachers in terms of the book, but also, like, if you go on my Twitter on Sunday, I published a free 44-page guide to how to prompt with an AI chatbot like ChatGPT. So it's great to be able to now every day show teachers how to save time, how to kind of get their personal time back. I don't know about you, Louise, but when I was a teacher, every Sunday would be a work day. So every weekend I'd be like, right, Saturday is family time, Sunday's a work day, but I wouldn't get paid for that. I'd work on an evening, sit with my laptop, do lesson plans. I'd work through breaks, through lunch. I remember I'd sit at my computer and just eat my sandwich and be working on the next lesson. Just shows you how far in advance I would prepare. But I really think, 'cause I've been out of the classroom about a year and a half now, and I think, oh my goodness, I wish I could have had this tool, because I would have got so much personal time back. And so now I'm really passionate, and what brings me so much happiness at the moment is spending time with teachers who are in the classroom and going, have you seen what this does? Let me give you some guides, some frameworks of how to get the most out of this technology. That's one side of it. I think I'm very much, you mentioned the Edufuturist podcast before. It's a podcast that myself, Ben Whittaker, and Stephen Hope present every week. And we look at the future of education. We've done that for about 5 years now, and had some amazing conversations with people from all over the world, including yourself and Ula. And so I've really got an investment in the future. Where's the future of education going to go? And I really see kind of this new AI. It's got one foot in helping us right now in terms of optimizing how we do things, and my goodness, teachers need it. They need that time back. They need their hours reduced, and I think this is one way that can happen. But also, I think the current AI has also got another foot in actually education changing, becoming more experiential, becoming more immersive, becoming more personal, and I think that's what will happen. And you put the quote there from Satya, defining technology of our time. And I don't think a lot of people have realized just how much things are going to change with not just education, but how we function in society, how we live, how we learn, how we work. A lot's going to change in the next few months and coming years with this technology, and education will be disrupted too. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing, because we will be in a position where we're preparing our students for the world as it is, not how it used to be.
There's an educator that's joining us, El Michelle. I've just seen her in the hi, El Michelle. And El Michelle and I, for a number of years, have been talking about visual resumes and visual CVs, and how those kind of multimedia resumes can be used as an assessment tool. But also, when you think about employers of the future, will know that if someone's sent in a letter or a CV, it could have been spun up on AI. The importance of students being able to authentically express themselves is going to be really important. So yeah, I think like you say, the ways in which it's going to change the way we learn and teach. It's going to help educators to embrace new tools. And also, hi, Michelle, there's that point about how it's going to have this way, or impart this way, for us all to be more authentic about the content.
I think that's where things get really, 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 really positive and really good, because I think if it's been said numerous times over the last few months, hasn't it? If students are just producing work that an AI can do, where is the authenticity there? And I think we have to be more dynamic, and being more dynamic when it comes to things like assessment and it comes to things like learning means actually, how are they applying it? How are they collaborating with other students? How are they applying it to real world scenarios? And not only does that allow the educator to be able to really kind of get insights into their students' progress, but it also means that the student is gaining skills that are going to really, really help them when they enter the workforce or they enter the world of business. Wherever they go, these skills are going to be vital. And the World Economic Forum have told us that these skills are vital for years now. And I think now we've kind of got a catalyst where we can get things shifted a bit and start actually focusing on these skills.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I always tend to look on the bright side of life, you know me, Dan, but I think it is going to really encourage young people to question the content that they see. And I've always, for a long time, wanted, and I've talked about it, you know, writing lesson plans where we can encourage young people to become critically thinking or literate about the content we see. It's like getting them to wear kind of big goggles. I think I've spent some kind of lesson plan around where you get goggles out and actually cut through the content and question, you know, who wrote this and why am I reading it? You know, why is it being targeted at me? Anyway, we digress, but we'd love you to get involved in the chat. What do you think are the most popular use cases of AI to date? And, you know, I'm sure that, you know, now people can talk about ChatGPT, but really a few months ago, you know, were people thinking about AI in kind of everyday use? Were you thinking about cars that can drive themselves? Or, you know, I think people are really genuinely kind of amazed when we tell them that AI has been around for a long time. It's how your spell checkers work, the spam filters work on your Gmail. And what's the other most popular one? I think someone's going to put it in the chat. You know, why do we always get those Netflix recommendations? That's the algorithms that are really at play. So whilst this webinar is about AI and immersive learning, and also, you know, what we as a company, ThingLink, are going to be doing with AI, I really wanted to draw your attention to a blog post which was launched earlier today. And again, that's on the link in the slides when you get them. And that link will actually take you to Ula's blog post where she outlines what we're going to be doing. Actually, that's in the chat now for you. But what I feel quite comforted about, and this is something that Scott actually put on LinkedIn, it was like, how are organizations really thinking about how they take AI forward as a software kind of provider? And are people just rushing into it, or, you know, what's their kind of stance? And we've already seen, you know, Canva's got its magic tools, and we've seen other kind of softwares, you know, suddenly put some kind of AI function within them to help the, you know, the people that are using them. But I think it's maybe time just to take a little step back. And there was actually Sam Altman was in Congress yesterday. I don't know if you had a chance to look at that, Dan.
Yeah, well, just the headlines really, some of the things he said, but yeah, I think he's quite sensible with it, to be honest. He himself signed the letter about 6 weeks ago now, saying that we needed to slow down on this technology and really assess the implications.
So what I really like about Ula's post, which went out today, is that she said, you know, what we would need to think about as a company is to think about our transparency. And I think that's why we're doing our webinar series, is to have this dialogue, this open discussion with everybody, and be open and say, you know, we're learning about AI as well. You know, we all are in essence. I know that you've taken the ball and run with it, but, you know, you've heavily invested in learning about it as well. And, you know, a lot of people are just sort of like finding out where they stand with it. So we're happy to say, you know, we're learning about it too. And this is why we want to promote this continuous dialogue or discussion with our creators. And my question to you in the chat now is, you know, what would you like to see ThingLink bring out as part of our suite of tools? How do you think AI can help you use ThingLink? Or what do you think would be the kind of magic wand type integrations that you would want to see? So please do fill our chat with that. Email us, contact support, go into our communities online. The other aspect, and again, I think Scott was alluding to this in his LinkedIn, and Scott's going to be, I'll bring him on the screen shortly. And that's to say, you know, what's the privacy around this? Because obviously we're contributing to generative AI. And yeah, Kay, absolutely, the ethics of AI is really interesting. So we wanted to make sure we're setting out our store with privacy and making sure that, you know, we've got our own installation of OpenAI, and that your data isn't being, you know, kind of shared with the whole world in terms of the generative AI aspects. And the other thing that we want to do, again, is to make sure that you've got control. So Scott at BCOT, you know, if you want to switch off AI tools for all the students, then you can do at an admin level, but also creators have got that control. So they're the kinds of things that we're working on as a company, but we'd love to, you know, and that's really interesting. BGSU's just mentioned AI in the scenario tool, because now I'm going to do a little example for you, and I've had this wrapped up for a while. So as you know, you can create branching scenarios with ChatGPT. And what you can also do now with ThingLink, of course, is create guided tours where you can have one button click narration, put ThingLinks in, and it will guide you through an experience. So we can create these true to life learning experiences which are totally immersive. And then, of course, if you wanted to, you could build these into scenario-based learning, which has now got data analytics built in, so you can see which path your learners have taken and how many clicks it took them to get there, how long they spent on this. And this is something that, again, we've built in response to our community suggesting this. So I went on over to ChatGPT and I set it a little task, and because creating branching scenarios sometimes can take quite a lot of thought, you know, working out where your branches go. So in ChatGPT, I've just put a prompt, which is create a branching scenario with learning objectives on fire safety in the home. And can you guess how quickly it comes up with not only the learning objectives, it comes up with the title of the scenario. And it also then, because I did do a test, obviously, it says the branches and it's got the different paths that you can go down. So imagine being able to create your learning scenario simply with ChatGPT. And then all you need to do is put those true to life scenes into your branching scenario. And then you've got a kind of mix of AI-driven immersive learning experiences, but you're not losing that essence of having that kind of true experience. So here we are. It's a regular evening at home. Suddenly you smell something burning. Do you ignore it? Investigate the source. And it builds these lovely paths for you. I don't know if you've had a chance to play with that, Dan, or if it's even in the book.
Yeah, I think it's just the way it presents the information now. And I know you're using ChatGPT 4 there to do this, but that kind of advanced reasoning you get with that tool, and Google Bard as well. I don't know, have you been playing with Google Bard recently?
Yeah, I'll be really honest and say we have found that this works better in ChatGPT than Google Bard at this moment in time.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're right there. I think when it comes to kind of longer form text and going into more detail, I think Google Bard is very much a great summary tool, but I think it lacks some of this at the moment. I'm sure it'll come for Google Bard, but just that level of detail. I was just doing a webinar today where we were using it to create curriculum plans and really going into the next levels. And I suppose it's what you could do with what you're doing at the moment, really. And I like to remind people that ChatGPT is a chat, so you can go back to it and you can say, right now, can you give me some more detail on this point? Could you maybe outline that scenario in a bit more detail for me? And really go back and forth with it. And I really love that aspect of this tool, that it's not just a transactional, I'll put my prompt in and I get the answer, but actually you train it, you get it to really work how you want it to work. And I always say to teachers, you do the thinking and let the AI do the doing. And I think it's really vital that in this process that we're really the thought agents in this, and AI is doing the legwork for us. So it's amazing to see this, and I can't wait.
And come up with reflective questions. as part of that. So imagine if students could do this and then design all the assets that go with it, or act it out, or do any of those things. And of course, you'll be able to see the important bit, which and I know Susan's mentioned it, is like, would you use Turnitin to look at students using it? You wouldn't need to use Turnitin, because this is just creating the scenario, and then the learning is still very self-directed. I've got to be careful of time as well. So now the other tool that I'm going to mention, and in a short moment, I'll be going over to Scott and Camilla, and that's Skybox Lab. So if you cannot create your own 360 images and you want a little bit of help with that, Skybox, which we're totally loving over at the ThingLink team, is a way for you to create your own 360 images. So I've just done kitchen in a home, and you can choose the style of 360 that you want it to create. And you can see there that it's just generating it for me. You can download that image once you see it, upload it to ThingLink, and then you can start adding in all your tags. I absolutely love this.
I really like how easy it is to use. You literally just go to the website and this page comes up. You don't have to log in, create an account. You just start
all I
using
put in was kitchen in a home, and that's the kitchen it's come up with me for me. And I can just click the download button and upload that into my ThingLink account and start adding tags. So yeah, big thumbs up for us. Go and have a play with that. It's totally free. There's no adverts. And it's, for me, it's one of those tools that I think is only going to get better and better and better. Just a couple of other things quickly. I also had a play with ChatGPT and Canva. It's free, Alistair. It's amazing. And I just want to show you this, because one of the things that I love, and I know Amanda's on our webinar, and those of you who've seen our webinars before, I just love Amanda's example. She came on our radar about 2.5 years ago. During lockdown, Amanda was creating
Hi, Primary One Brilliant Travel.
With my talking pet, she was creating talking pets. And honestly, Amanda, you know how much we love that. But then I thought, well, that people thought that Amanda, was ahead of her time, which she was, an innovator. And what I love about not just ChatGPT, but some of the other tools, is it's democratized that creativity. And this took me about 60 seconds. I created this background on Canva using the magic tools.
Ladies and gentlemen, young women of today.
I then asked ChatGPT to create a speech by Emmeline Pankhurst of what she'd say to young women. And with DID, and we'll put the link into all of these tools, it created me a talking Emmeline Pankhurst, bringing history characters to life. And guess where I got the idea? In your book. That's a glowing recommendation there. So yeah, it's just so lovely to start, bringing these kind of lesson plans and ideas to life with AI tools. Be creative, be imaginative. And it isn't just about, what teachers are using the AI for. Encourage students to be creative with the free tools, with no adverts that they don't need to create logins for at this point in time. And I've put that in the blog post, which Kyla will share with you. But I'm now going to bring on to the webinar Scott and Camilla from Basingstoke College of Technology. Now, Camilla is a student who originally is from Brazil, and Camilla is deeply interested in interactive and immersive media, and is hopefully soon going on to university to study this further. But she's also very devoted to her faith, and she's mixing her devotion with her faith with also immersive learning experiences. And Scott, who I mentioned, who is a teacher, but not just a teacher, he's head of digital learning and one of the EdTech 50. He's won numerous awards as well. And Basingstoke College of Technology were a winner on the Edge of Futurists, weren't they, Dan?
Yeah, I think they've won more awards than anybody else at the Edge of Futurists over the last few years, just as a testament to the amazing work they're doing. Hi, Camilla. Hi, Scott. You guys are on mute. If you could unmute, that would be amazing.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, good to see you.
So I've been bigging Camilla's work up because honestly, it is just such a joy to see what you've been doing. But let's set a little bit of the scene with Scott. So Scott, tell us, because I saw your post in LinkedIn, which was like, you know, as organizations, we should be just being a bit cautious, being responsible with how we embrace this. And as a college that has been so far leading from the front, a beacon, if you like, in Basingstoke. How have you started to embrace AI and these new ways of working in your approach to digital learning and teaching?
I'm deeply skeptical about all technologies, always, is the truth. Even though people think I'm not skeptical, I am. It's got to improve teaching and learning, and that's the bottom line for me. And it's always led by that. And if it isn't, I'm just not interested. So we've got a 3-tick process. So teaching and learning team, we identify things, test it in controlled prototypes, whether that be body swaps with AI nudges of how to improve your interview practice in virtual reality, or whether that be using ChatGPT to enhance lesson plans and resources for animal management, how to train your dog to sit on a mat, or in hospitality, their sequence of learning where they were taking menus and then creating rich tapestries of lesson plans to free up the teacher's time to have more energy to be in the kitchen doing the human bit that can never be automated. Unless the prototypes of the technologies we test can improve teaching and learning or give back human energy to focus on what only the human can do, then we're just not interested. So the teaching and learning team, we find things and we test them, but only once the IT team also check it and make sure it's okay, safe, secure. And then we have a 3rd tick, Greg from our GDPR team. And increasingly, that's more and more important. And it's a topic that's looming on the horizon with all things AI. Yeah. So teaching and learning, IT, and GDPR. But the first thing and the most important thing is teaching and learning. Is it improving teaching and learning? Is it preparing people for skills in the future? Working with Camilla is an example, hopefully, whereby we've been able to leverage this incredible toolkit to enhance not only digital skills, but critical thinking skills, communication skills, project management, those industry 4.0 skills that we know are needed.
Yeah. And would it be a good time to put Camilla's fantastic example on so you can see, you know, the outputs of the process that you've been through give your teachers confidence and your students confidence to be creative. So I'm now going to add Camilla's fantastic example, and I'm going to hand over to you guys to show all of the people who are watching here today just how brilliant your example is. If you could just talk us through, you know, what kind of inspired you to put it together, that would be amazing.
Thank you. I did this project. It's a Bible study that I made, and I'm doing it through ThingLink using Midjourney and Skybox as well to generate the images to make it more interactive. And I've been doing this for my media course, so it's the last project of the year, so it's very, very important. And so this is what I chose to do, and I've been studying about my target audience and how can I make this study more interactive for them? How can they, people at my age enjoy this? And so this is what I made. And we first have this page here. It has a little bit of sound. So I'm gonna just pause it to see and talk through. And you're gonna have 2 main things, which the first one is a extra support that goes to another ThingLink tour. But the main part is this one here, is the map where you click on it and it leads you to a map that I made on Canvas. And as my project has deadlines and I'm making this for my FMP, I haven't had much time to work on it, but I'm gonna keep working on it after my course. And we will have more. I haven't finished everything, and then we have more levels in here, but I only have the first level, which is like, it means 1 day. And you click on here and leads you to another tour, which is this one. And the first day, it's about Genesis, chapter 1 to 12. So you go in here and it leads you to the new tool, ThingLink tool, which is the tour thing. And you have in here chapters of the Bible. So we click in here. There's some instruction saying to go here. And as you can see, a image pops up and you can listen to the Bible audio. So this is an example of
the Holy Bible, New Living Translation. The Book of Genesis, Chapter 1.
So yeah, I'm not going to show everything, but just to understand that this is one chapter and they have a little bit of illustration here. All of these images were made through Midjourney and it's all AI. And I'm working in putting this is all AI, everything. So we have another audio here.
Chapter 2. So the creation of the heaven.
As you can see. So yes, and chapters 1 to 5 is, as you can see, is one scenario. Is this garden 360 image here in the background. But on chapter 6, it changes to the Noah's and the Ark story. So it changes as well the background. So we have another background here made through Skybox. And this is the story of Noah. So we have images. And the same thing is audios with the images. So it's, I haven't finished everything, but this is day 1. This is the Tower of Babel. And this is chapter 12 is the beginning of Abraham's story. So it's going to be here. And this is what I made with ThingLink, but I haven't finished it yet. And after my course, I'm going to keep working on that to make more levels, to make more stories. And I want to cover the whole Bible. Yes, so it's basically 12 chapters per day. So it's a 3 months study, 3.5 months study. So yes, this is my project.
Can I just take a moment so that everyone can show a bit of appreciation for Camilla and just how fantastic that is? There's some amazing comments coming through on the chat saying this is fabulous, incredible work. People want the links to it already. We can't share the direct link, obviously, because it's work in progress, but I think everyone is just blown away by what you've been able to do. So what inspired you to start using AI and what kind of inspired you to start using interactive media to create these interactive resources?
So I already had this idea of making a Bible study, and since I got converted, I started to making all my projects in my study course, like my PCOT course, about the gospel, about Jesus. So I was doing it before on this topic. And last year we had an interactive project where I really found myself in this interactive area, and I wanted to, study more about it, more about how to build websites and apps and everything. And when we did last year, I chose to do a ThingLink, which was the same concept, but it was like a summary of the Bible, and it wasn't like the chapters of the Bible, it was just a summary. And it had the ThingLink images, background images. I didn't know about Skybox, and it was a very simple prototype, and I ended up not liking it, but I liked the idea. So when we started this year, I already like had this in my heart to keep going with this idea and keep improving on it, and to make. I had a lot of ideas to keep adding things, but I was very struggle to find 360 images on the internet for free, and the subscription I had through ThingLink wasn't. I hadn't like the images, so on the internet to pay through them was quite expensive. And my project for the last year was supposed to be illustration in 360 because I wanted to do this, but I didn't know how to do the images or how to find them. And after some time, like while I was doing this project, I messaged a illustrator and asking him if he had any tools or if he knew any website that I could make illustrations through, and he recommended me Skybox. So when I found out this was a thing, I said like, oh, that's it. It's a shocker in life, because imagine like doing all the three background images and drawing all the characters, like the Bible characters, and writing all the content and finding audio. So it would take me years literally to do this. And when I found that was like a shocker. And I found Skybox and I tried a lot. This is not the best images I generated. I made a better ones, but I'm saving for special tours that I'm creating in the future. And as well, then I find the Skybox, but I didn't know about Midjourney and image AI generator.
So
Then-
how did you find Midjourney? Because every time I've gone on it, I've kind of struggled to use it. But you use Midjourney to create all of the characters. I mean, people have only seen kind of like a snapshot of what you've been doing, but you created a wonderful mood board, didn't you, with all of the different characters. So all the characters are kind of in a certain style, so it keeps it. So this is the Miro board you created.
Yeah, so
you created every single one of these in Midjourney.
yes, this was something that I was very scared because I thought Midjourney was really hard to use, and it looks like, but the key thing is very easy, and you just have to find. I found on YouTube how to use it. Like I searched for tutorials, and there's really good.
Say, Camilla, I think you're being very, very humble there, because it is. I use Midjourney quite a bit, and you've got to. I think, although you can just type in prompts and get images out of it, I think you really have to apply critical analysis and iteration skills to really hone down and really get what you want and get the quality out of it. So the fact that the quality of the images that you're coming out with, and the Skybox 360 images as well, although and Louise said before about democratizing creativity, although anybody can go on and create an image, I think when it comes to a scale of quality, which like what we've got here, that's real skill. And I think it's good to acknowledge that you're and you said there about going on YouTube and teaching yourself. You've taught yourself a real valuable skill there that employers and are gonna really want. People are going to want those skills. Are going to want people like you who've got these skills, because you're leading the way, essentially. You really are. So it's amazing work.
So what's really interesting is that Camilla, like when we first met like 2 years ago, we were using Google Translate to help you refine your writing. Do you remember?
Yeah.
So you've always been like an early adopter of these tools, and like Moat, my audio feedback, it would transcribe it into Portuguese. For you in those early assignments. So we've always used AI, haven't we, in our sort of working relationship. And what's really interesting, if we could zoom into one of the prompts, please, Camilla, is that Camilla, is an English speaker of another language, and has been refining and iterating and adapting her ability to articulate and yield the best images from the prompts. So these prompts, as Dan has alluded to, have come from this, refining, going again, dusting it off, trying it again to try and get the best image. So as a way to help ESOL learners, it's really interesting, the fact that we'll be able to use this with ESOL learners potentially to refine their English skills to critically think and to yield the image they're trying to articulate.
Like, can I just say before I come back to you, Camilla, on this, there's a lot of people who kind of say, right, well, this is really going to damage literacy skills of our children, because they're just going to go on to ChatGPT or Google Bard, type it in and get their work and hand it in, and there's not going to be any personal creativity, analysis there. Their literacy skills are going to be damaged. I'm of the opposite opinion, and I think you just alluded to this, Scott, and that I think it's a red herring. It's a false dichotomy to say that literacy and AI are against each other, when I think what you prove in here is that they go hand in hand. And there was a study came out a few weeks ago from America that said that the people who are getting the most out of this technology at the moment are those who are educated, and that's because they've got a good grasp of literacy. They know how to communicate, know how to really be specific with what they want. So, and I love what you say there about actually learning to prompt could actually increase literacy skills. I think that's fascinating.
Yes, you have to be very specific and pay attention to things when you are describing a person. You have to pay attention to things and characteristics that you don't normally do. And it's a very descriptive job, especially like with Midjourney 5, which is the new one. Because before in Midjourney 4, you could write like, create a blonde girl, just words like red dress and just words like that. But with Midjourney 5, you have to be like in sentences. You have to write in sentences. So they want you to write like you're writing a descriptive paragraph or something. So it makes my life easier. But also I think it's helped with this also.
There was a question in the popped up in a chat, which was from Julia. I'm not sure where Julia's from, but she was asking if the Mirror app created the AI images, which it hasn't, has it? You created those separately and then uploaded those to the Mirror board. Yeah, got that. And I think you've just sent everyone off on a sudden search, creating lots of 360s. Camilla, I know that we're going to be running out of time soon, but I just wanted to say thank you so much from the whole ThingLink team, and on behalf of everyone watching, how impressive that was. And we are so pleased that you are able to come here today and share all of your work. So massive thank you from all of us. And I think it's probably time now, Dan, for us to, and shall I bring Kyla back on the screen as well, because it is time for who's going to be the winner of the AI Classroom book. So I'll add Kyla to the stream. And I think, Dan, you're going to do a live ChatGPT picker.
Yeah, let's try this.
If I put that on the screen, and I also add Kyla in. Hi, Kyla.
Hi.
So how many people?
We have had 93 entries to the draw. So good luck, everyone.
Okay, I'll just zoom in. What was that number again?
We've got 93 entries.
Pick a number.
Can I participate?
Of course. We'll send you a copy anyway. Dan will give you a copy for free.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks. Louise has just given away my books for free. Thanks, Louise. No, absolutely. No, of course I will.
You can be in the next book.
Pick a number between 1 and 93. Are you ready?
Drum roll.
42.
42. Okay.
42. Isn't that the number, a special number? 42. Not just the winner. Isn't it the answer to everything?
Okay. We have an anonymous person. They've entered under the name Distributed Learning.
Oh, congratulations. Distributed Learning. Are you on the chat?
I can actually see their name. I can see who this is.
Oh, there you go. Well, congratulations to Distributed Learning. We're delighted that you've been a winner. We're just about to kind of come to the end. Oh, excellent. Congratulations. Hey. We're really pleased that you've won that. So it's just down to me, I suppose, just to round up and say on behalf of the ThingLink team, again, thank you to Camilla and Scott, to to Dan as well for being our honorary co-host, to Kyla and her brilliant Marge Simpson impression earlier on, and all of you who have joined us by watching. This is the first in our series. There's going to be another webinar which will be on the 14th of June, I think it is, with Darren White, who is the author of these two books. He is going to be joining us. I know, Scott, you know Darren as well. It's a lovely community that we're a pleasure to be part of. So do sign up for that. There are links for you to sign up to that next webinar, Thriving with AI and Essential Skills. And it really builds on what we've been talking about today, especially just there at the end with Camilla's examples and the skills that both Dan and Scott are starting to see their learners develop, but also skills for the future, whether that's authenticity, critical thinking, or literacy skills. And like we've said, these skills have been around for a long time in those kind of eponymous kind of skills for the future type images, but now more than ever, I think we're seeing these come to the fore. And if you are not a ThingLink user already, then please do go ahead and sign up for a free trial at thinglink.com. And if you've got any questions, then please don't hesitate to drop us an email, support@thinglink.com. Find us on Twitter. I don't know if you want to be able to contact Dan. Dan fits tweets. And also if you do a search for Scott Hayden on Twitter and BCOT, you'll find the BCOT Digital Twitter as well. So yes, thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Any last words from the team here this evening, Dan?
I want to say thank you to you, Louise. That was amazing, and really enjoyed that. And I'm off to play with Midjourney, Skybox, ThingLink. Yeah, thanks, Camilla. You've truly inspired me. I'm giving a presentation tomorrow, and I want to show this. So yeah, I'm going to go play with it now. So thanks so much.
No problem.
Yeah, Camilla and Scott, do you want anything else you just want to say before we round it off?
Yeah, the same thing. Thank you so much for the opportunity you're giving me, Louise, especially, and Scott, who talked to you and everything. And then Kayla, we are going to do a study. And yeah, thanks so much.
Study coming up on Camilla's amazing work. So everybody.
I can't wait to see that. So that's going to be a blog post case study that you're going to be putting together. Excellent. Oh, well, we're just coming to a close. Thank you to everybody. Thanks for all the lovely comments that you've put into the chat, and we can't wait to see you next time. So safe travels if you're going home from work. If you're at home, have a pleasant evening, and we look forward to seeing you again next time. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.